Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Elaina, aka Lady Smash. I'm bringing y'all another cooking video. Okay, y'all wanted to see some of my recipes, and so I'm giving you today my smothered pork steak recipe. So these are the ingredients you'll need, along with some seasonings. I forgot to pull those out and show you, but you'll see them as we go along. So let's get started. We are going to first put our pork chops in a pan or some kind of dish, whatever you have, a plate, whatever, and you're going to lay them out so that you can season them individually. So I'm using like a baking pan, Pyrex baking pan, and these are the seasonings that I'm using, and I'm just going to season until my ancestors tell me to stop. And I'm just going to continue layering until I run out of pork steaks, and then we will get to start cooking. Okay, so now that we've seasoned everything, we're gonna just clean up just a bit. You know, you gotta clean up as you go. You can't be cooking in a dirty kitchen. So now we are going to move this over to the side, and I just want to show y'all what it looks like. Okay, after it's seasoned. And so now I'm gonna get my pan ready. Y'all excuse my pan. This pan has been very loved, as you can see. I use it a lot. It's time for me to get a new one, so I'll be getting a new one very soon. But anyway, we're gonna I use grapeseed oil because it has a higher smoke point, and it's supposed to be better for you. Y'all know we use this in our hair as well. But yeah, I'm gonna use some grapeseed oil, and I'm gonna lay the pork chops or the pork steaks down into the pan, and I'm gonna season this side as well because I didn't like that, you know, it wasn't enough seasoning. Y'all, we want to have some flavor going on, so we want to make sure these are very well seasoned. So season them to your liking, and then we are just going to basically sear each side. We're not going to cook these all the way through. We just want to get some color on both sides. So I'm going to let this cook for about a minute, well, 2 minutes or so, just to get color on it, like I said, and then we're going to flip them. As you can see, it has a nice little color on there, but it's not cooked all the way through. And so we're going to do the same thing to this side, let it cook for about 2 minutes or so, and then we're going to take them out and we're going to put them in another clean baking dish. So you see here, I'm putting them in the baking dish on the side just to make room for some more. Don't worry about the goodness that's left in there. We're going to take care of all of that, but we're just going to continue to sear the rest of the meat and get them all stacked in that other pan over there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add a tad bit more of the oil because we're gonna fry up our vegetables, our onion and our green pepper that you saw in the beginning. Now I did grab another onion because it just wasn't enough. You usually need about half of a big onion to a whole onion is what I use, and then either half or a whole green pepper depending on how big it is and how much you like these type of vegetables. So we're just going to saute these up until they get till they break down, get a little soft. Okay, we're not going to cook them all the way through either because remember, these are smothered pork chops, so we're going to wind up letting these simmer for a little bit. So you just want to kind of break them down just a little bit, let the onions get some color on them and just break down a little bit. Okay, and then after that you're going to add your garlic. You don't want to add your garlic in first when you add in the the onion and the green pepper because it might burn. So you add that in last, and you just saute that up until you start to smell the aroma of the garlic. And as you can see, I'm just kind of scraping up the bits that have been on the bottom of the pan when we fried up the pork chops. And then shortly after that, we're going to add in our cream of mushroom soup. So you'll see that in just a moment. Okay, so now it's time to add in that cream of mushroom soup. Like I said, I get the family size because y'all see how many pork steaks I have here, and I'm not feeding little kids, I'm feeding men in my house. So I use 1 full can of the family size cream of mushroom, and then I add some water to the can to get the rest of that soupy, the soupy mix out of the can. I just kind of mix it up like that to get it all off the walls of the can, and then I pour that in, and boom, you have instant gravy. Okay, this is how I make my gravy. I don't use flour, okay, unless it's like Thanksgiving or something like that. But anytime I do some kind of a quick meal like this, I like to use soups. It's a really quick and easy way to make a gravy, and I feel like it's a little bit more healthier than using flour. Okay, and it's not as thick as flour would be. All right, and so that's how I do it. And so I just mix this up and try to get all the chunks out, or as many chunks out as I can. Just continue to stir it up, mash up the chunks and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I also forgot to mention that once you add in the cream of mushroom and the water and everything, it starts to deglaze the bottom of the pan. So all of that rest of that goodness that was stuck to the bottom of the pan starts to lift up and comes to be part of the gravy. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still kind of scraping up the bottom just a little bit to get it up, but as it continues to cook and simmer, all of that goodness just kind of melts into the gravy and makes for a really, really tasty dish. Now it's time to add the pork steaks back to the gravy. All right, so I'm just adding them all in. I'm trying to make sure that I get them all as covered as I possibly can. So I'm kind of pushing them down into the gravy, and then next you'll see me kind of coat the steaks with the gravy to just try to get them covered, because you want to get them as covered as you can. Remember, these were not all the way cooked, and we're dealing with pork here, so we want to make sure that these get thoroughly cooked, thoroughly cooked through. So you want to kind of submerge them as best as you can, and then after that we will go ahead and put the top on, and we're going to let this simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, and don't forget to add that juice. Okay, that's all the juicy goodness from those pork steaks that have kind of melted out of the steaks as they were sitting. So don't forget to add that back in, because that's all part of the flavoring. All right, so like I said, just continue to cover the steaks, and then cover the whole pot or your pan and let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes. I'm buzzing, let's drink up. You deaf look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Isn't this looking good already? Wait till you see the finished product, y'all. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should. Now it's time to make our side dish. Okay, the side we're having tonight is garlic flavored green beans. And so to my pan, I am adding just a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter. Okay, this is going to give it a nice flavor. We're also going to add our garlic in. Now you can use fresh garlic, or this kind of garlic. I tend to use this garlic because I use garlic in almost every meal that I cook, and it's just easier for me to grab this jar and go instead of chopping up garlic every time. So we're just going to saute this up really quick. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my string beans. Okay, I had the bag, but as you saw, there was like a little bit of water in there, so I went ahead and strained the string beans off, and then I went ahead and put them into the pan. Okay, you don't really want to add any extra water. You just want to have the strained off string beans, and then you're just gonna saute them. Okay, you're just gonna mix it all up, keep mixing until you get a nice coating on there, and then they're gonna start to like turn brown, almost kind of like, I don't want to say charred, but they're gonna turn brown a little bit. And once you start to see that brown like this, then you know that they're ready, okay? Because green beans are pretty much, you can eat them raw, but we just kind of want to heat them through and get that flavoring all on them. So that's done. Now it's time to plate up. So take a look at how these pork steaks are just falling apart. Look at this, just falling apart, okay? So that's how you know when they're ready, when they're falling off the bone or just falling apart. Like I can't even hardly pick them up, okay? And so, yeah, these are done. And I'm just going to show you now the plate up and how everything looks. And this is hubby's plate, okay, obviously for a man. It's enough food on there for a man. So that's his. And now I'm gonna make my plate. I don't eat nearly as much as my boys and my husband do, unless I'm extremely hungry. And so you can see, like, this is nowhere near as much on my plate as it was on his plate. So yeah. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my smothered pork steak, or you can use pork chops and garlic green bean meal dinner for my family. When I tell you, they absolutely love this meal. They absolutely love when I make these pork chops, y'all. The recipe has not changed since I started making them. And yeah, you can thank me later. Thank me in the comments. If you try this recipe, definitely let me know. But it's very easy. It's a quick family meal to make on a weekday. I made this on a Wednesday. And as you can see, it's very, very tender, super tender. And it tastes amazing, y'all. So I want to thank you all for watching my video, and as always, thank you for supporting me and my channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and definitely give me a like on the way out if you like family meals, and if you want to see more family meals made by me and possibly with the family as well. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on another one of my videos. I'm gonna meet y'all in the comments, sending y'all much love, peace, and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.